Hi, everyone. So today I have Norm Trudeau. He's a volunteer coordinator with the Blues and Jazz Festival, very near and dear to my heart. If you know anything about Orangeville, you know about the Blues and Jazz Festival. Welcome, Norm. I'm so excited to have you today.
Well, thank you very much, Teresa, for having me on the podcast.
Excellent. Norm, before we kick into the festival, tell us a little bit about yourself and how you got into working with the festival itself.
Well, okay, so I've been the volunteer coordinator for the festival now. This is my third year, and before that, I volunteered on a bunch of different teams for about 15 or 16 years before that. I think I came into the festival at year 3, which was in 2005. I've worked on a bunch of the different teams, the event staff team, and I eventually became an announcer and an MC for the Opera House. I did that for 4 or 5 years. It really is it's a great family that we've come to grow over the 22 years that we've been doing this.
That's amazing. What brought you into being a volunteer coordinator or in any of the roles that you've had over the years? Like, what was that transition like? What inspired you to get involved?
Well, basically friends and community. In short, my partner and my really good friend, Josh, he was a main volunteer with the festival. He's been there since the first inception of the festival back in 2003, and he asked me to come and join. So I joined and I worked with him for the one weekend, and it was just kept on going. And then we split out into doing different teams and working different areas of the festival. It's just been an awesome experience. The beauty of the festival, particularly from a volunteer perspective, is that we have volunteers that are coming back year after year after year. And it really is a sense of looking forward to the weekend, getting together with the people for the pre-festival meetings that we have with the volunteer group. And we also look forward to the actual weekend itself, getting together, catching up, touching base. It really is a big family.
So fantastic. So what's your connection to Orangeville? Do you actually live in Orangeville?
Oh, yes. Yeah, I haven't lived in Orangeville for very long. I moved to Orangeville in 1965.
Not long at all.
No.
Wow.
No, it's been 60 years. I've moved here when I was a little boy, and now that I'm a retired senior citizen now, and I've lived here pretty well all my life.
Wow. Yeah. What would you say to someone looking to move to Orangeville, having been here 60 years and seeing all the change and growth that it's had? What would you say to them?
Well, what? You're not here yet?
That's perfect.
Orangeville
is amazing.
Orangeville is a really, really great town. Like, it's unbelievable that the town of Orangeville, which is basically a municipality the size of a small city, it's only an hour north of Toronto. It's probably one of the largest bedroom communities in Ontario for the GTA. Mm-hmm. But it really does have that small town feel, and the downtown core is still a real people place, where the tradition of the town hall in Alexandra Park, the businesses that are up and down Broadway, and there's a real close connection to community. And I believe that the Orangeville Blues and Jazz Festival has really been supported by that community. And that's one of the big reasons why it's had so much opportunity to grow over the years.
That's awesome. So if you're looking to make your next move, whether it's to Orangeville, Dufferin County, or the surrounding area, people just like you reach out to me every single week to help them with their next move. And I would love to have a private conversation with you to see how I can help you make the right decisions, avoid costly mistakes, and properly guide you through the process. Click on the link in the description below to set up a time. Now let's get into this episode. So I've done a little research before our session today, and I saw that you had been on stage as part of the Traveling Wannabes as an MC. You've done a variety of things, and this is so exciting to talk to you. How is being both a musical person, someone who really enjoys music and a volunteer shape how you see this festival?
Well, that, I think you've touched on something that is kind of near and dear to my heart. One of the big advantages of being a volunteer at the festival is that you get to see it from a different perspective.
Yeah.
The behind the scenes aspect of the festival, how it gets put together, how it gets set up, where all of the volunteers go on the various different teams, everything from our event staff to our green team, which is the recycling waste stream, the admissions, the opera house, our giant beer team, which is like our two major beer gardens, and we'll be serving alcohol again in the opera house this year, which is kind of really nice. And again, we can talk more about that.
Yeah.
It really does give you a unique perspective into how the festival is put together. And it's one of the things that keeps me coming back.
One of the questions I have next is just that, when does it start? Like, when do you start collecting all of the different pieces that come together from a volunteer perspective? As you see other teams pulling this all together, when does it really start? Because the Blues and Jazz Festival is typically the first weekend in June.
Mm-hmm.
And so when does all of the planning and executing really begin?
Well, the planning process of putting the festival together starts in September of the year before. There is a board of directors for the festival. They're all volunteer positions, and there's eight of us this year. And then there are a set of staff members for marketing, operations, and myself for the volunteer coordinator. And then, of course, there is our music director and our festival founder, his vision, Larry Kurtz, and the whole process of planning and organizing and getting together all of the moving parts that go into executing a festival. It starts in basically the September of the year before. And that planning process goes on for a couple of months. And then the execution phase starts up in December, where the music director, he'll start to book the bands. There's anywhere between 50 and 80 that go through the course of a year, like on the three main stages, and then on Broadway, where there are pop-up bands on Friday night and Saturday and Sunday, and the three main stages as well. That all goes through our operations manager. His name is Gary Skin. He has been doing this for years now, and the vendors for craft and food and all of the food trucks that go into we call it our vendor alley, where all of our festival patrons can come in and during the course of the festival, buy food. There's all kinds of different crafts that are available, and it's really quite a process. From my perspective as the volunteer coordinator, it starts pretty much in December, and right now I'm hip deep in our volunteer recruitment drive. This is, it's quite the undertaking. We usually need between 220 and 240 different people for 750 positions over the 3 days. It's really quite the undertaking, but it's a lot of work, but it really is an enjoyable thing.
That's incredible. Like, I've been to the Blues and Jazz Festival now, well, almost every year that I lived in Orangeville, and being one of the brokerages that are actually on Broadway. We actually are out there at the Blues and Jazz Festival on this Saturday. I'll be there this year. I'm so excited.
Awesome.
But I've seen the stages. You see all of the food vendors, all of the vendors along the side of Broadway. Such a huge undertaking. So many people come and see it, but you never see like the behind the scenes kind of piecing it together, and how many volunteers it actually takes, and how many visionaries it actually takes to pull this off. Mm-hmm. Is there anything new and exciting people can expect this year, like that's different from other years?
Well, other than the fact that Larry's done such a fantastic job with the programming this year, particularly on the main stage and then the opera house venues, not really a whole bunch has changed. Our new Broadway beer garden, which is in front of our Broadway stage, is going to be a little bigger.
Nice.
Yay. And that was like, we're just praying for really good weather so that we can get out in our shorts and our tank tops and enjoy a cold beverage while watching the Broadway stage performers play on. Again, our blues cruise on Friday night is the ultimate car show. We're hoping for anywhere between 350 and 400 cars this year. It's just awesome. And our Blues and Bikes show on Sunday afternoon is staying in place, and our Broadway Ramble with pop-up bands, the big Orangeville Farmers Market on Saturday morning, that's going to run in the late morning until probably 1 or 2 o'clock in the afternoon. This venue on Saturday and Sunday will have lots of different acts there, and our Broadway, our Blues and Jazz Festival workshops at the Orangeville Public Library are going to be there as well on Saturday afternoon.
Wow, just something for everyone, right?
Oh yeah,
just amazing. So, as you're bringing people in for volunteering, and it sounds like you can see volunteers everywhere. So they wear shirts, right? Specifically, because I remember you can tell when there's someone there that is part of the Blues and Jazz Festival. I see them everywhere. Oh, yeah. Are they part of the stage setup? Are they part of, they do it all? Like, they're the roadies, they're the ones that are supporting the admissions and all of that good stuff. What do you look for when you look to bring on volunteers? Like, how would someone know that, yeah, I'd be a great volunteer, I'd love to get involved?
Well, it doesn't really take a whole lot to be a great volunteer. I think really there's only a couple of qualities that personally we look for in a volunteer. One is enthusiasm. You kind of got to have that, and a sense of community. The festival has always been a heavily community oriented festival, and family friendly, like fun for everyone. The volunteer drive is basically looking for those type of people. Now, of course, the actual function of becoming a volunteer is relatively easy. There's something there's an application form on the website. We can go through all of those details. It's really quite an easy thing to do. But we accept volunteers from high school age, grade 9, all the way up to like 90. And there's so many different jobs that you can do at the festival, and you can work as many hours as you want, as long as you want, or as little as you want. Process of volunteering is very, very simple. It's just a matter of filling out an application form or getting in contact with me directly. There's also go through volunteer drives at the Lions Club Home Show, which was the last weekend in March. I had a table there. It was fantastic. I'm going to be at the Aaron Home Show on April the 26th. I've got a table there. It's kind of nice. And basically, that's what we're looking for. Community-oriented people who just want to show up and have some fun helping this festival get put together.
When you think about the volunteers that you've had over the years, is there a story or a volunteer that kind of embodies or captures the spirit of the festival for you?
Well, two specific people come to mind. There is one gentleman who's been with the festival since year 1, and he is a senior citizen, and he's done pretty well every job in the festival. And even at his age, he still helps us out with our corporate sponsorship drive every year. And he comes to the festival, spends the whole weekend. He is just a fantastic gentleman. I love him dearly. And he has so much knowledge and experience that he gives to particularly new volunteers. And it really is just very, very gratifying to know this gentleman. The other one is a gentleman who just volunteered last year. And this guy, he's just a great guy, basically jumped in to the fray, for lack of a better term, on Friday morning at 9 o'clock and spent the whole weekend at the festival last year. He was just a fantastic gentleman, and now he's going to be a team leader for me this year. These two stories, they kind of explain both ends of the scale. People who have been involved in the festival for years and years and years and still continue to give. And then people who are just, hey, this is fantastic. What a great new what a great new thing to do. And they just jump into it hook, line, and sinker. And they go all weekend and they get so much satisfaction out of it. And you can tell when you look at when you see the look on their faces, it's just fantastic.
Aw, that's so amazing. Like there's so much energy and excitement around the Blues and Jazz Festival. Even before I moved to Orangeville, I knew about the Blues and Jazz Festival. I was so curious about it. And having been in a band myself for like over 15 years, like I was like, oh my God, this is so great. Cause I really, on my off time, I really enjoy live music. And now being a realtor in town and representing my brokerage and myself at the Blues and Jazz Festival, it's like for me, it's the perfect embodiment of this podcast. It's like Rock and Realty is my podcast, but it really is just drives both together. And that's why I'm always excited to be a part of it. Tell me a little bit about, if someone has never been to the Blues and Jazz Festival, you can go to the website and you can see how much fun everybody's having and the clips from YouTube and all of that good stuff. But why is it such a big deal in Orangeville? Like what makes it such a big deal? Because it is like renowned.
Yeah, it has been named again one of the province of Ontario's top 100 festivals. Again, a huge thanks to the government of Ontario for bestowing that honor on us again. I've been pondering this for the last little while. I really think that the whole meaning of how the Orangeville Blues and Jazz Festival is such a renowned event, I think, is based on two things. One, the people who are responsible for the planning and execution of the festival, starting with Larry and through our board of directors and our staff members, we really feel that it's important not only to ourselves to make sure that we try to put the best festival on that we can every single year, and coupled with absolutely unfathomed community support from the town of Orangeville Town Council and our mayor, the Orangeville BIA, our fantastic sponsors of the Blues and Jazz Festival and have been ever since its inception. Our corporate sponsorship program always gives us lots of support. We're always looking for more, of course, but the local businesses have always been very, very supportive of the Blues and Jazz Festival. And I really think that entire mindset really just enforces the foundations of the festival, which is community and family. And of course, the music. Again, you and I, we're cut from the same bed sheet. We are musicians by trade. It's like, I find it in this age of AI generated insanity and canned music that I really believe strongly that people want to come to the festival so they can see people like you and me and Larry and all of the acts that are going to be performing at this year's festival actually perform the music for you. It's really, I think those things really describe why the festival is so successful.
Yeah, there's nothing like live music. I've always enjoyed it, and even in the smaller venues, when you see it at festivals like this, smaller festivals, bigger festivals, I actually enjoy watching acts outside, smaller stage, like the energy that you get from that and the fun that you have in those type of environments is just, it's second to none. Like it's one of my favorite things to experience in the whole wide world. So as we get closer to the Blues and Jazz Festival, what does how would you describe Orangeville starts to feel like? Like, I feel like there's this whole kind of, there's the Blues and Jazz Festival this weekend. There's an excitement, but what do you see from your side of things as we get closer to the Blues and Jazz Festival?
Well, we are right now, the final 5 weeks of festival preparation. A lot of it is all being put together by the two primary people, myself and Gary, from an operational perspective, me from a volunteer and staffing perspective. Yeah. I am actively scheduling volunteers. New volunteers are coming in. Applications are being processed. That is all going to be going on for the next 5 weeks, right up until the day of the festival. On tentatively set for May the 3rd. The basically unofficial kickoff to the festival season will be the hanging of our downtown pole banner signs. And you'll be able to see them. There's a crew of us that go out there with a bunch of ladders, and we hang up all the pole banners on the street lights on Broadway and First Street. And that, like, people, it's funny because, like, I'm downtown all the time. I'm going around looking at, like, talking to people and doing business. But, like, when you see the pole banner signs, they come up, and it's like people are going, "Oh, it's coming! It's only a few weeks away!" Coming. And this is when people start getting jazzed up. Pardon the pun.
Yeah, it's so true. Like, I know when I see those signs, I'm like, oh my God, yes, I'm so excited. And it's just a lot of fun. What would you say to people that are looking at a festival like this and thinking, oh, it's too expensive to go, I don't want to go? Like, what does the price of admission look like? What would you say to people that are thinking about coming up, that are thinking, oh, I don't know, this could be too expensive?
Well, okay, so the website is going to give any would-be festival patron all the information that they need as far as programming costs and all of the other things that they like, and again, scheduling and calendars where all the acts are, what's happening on the Friday night, Saturday, and Sunday through to 6 o'clock when the festival closes on Sunday afternoon. .ca, pretty easy to get to. But I would say to a festival patron or potential festival patron, yeah, the main stage area and the opera house is paid, and that's where all of the best acts are. Pricing is available on the website. Off the top of my head, I believe Friday, a main stage pass is $25. Saturday day pass is $40, and the Sunday day pass is $15. Correct me if I'm wrong, and I will double check those numbers. But the weekend pass, which is the best deal, is only $45. That gets you into the paid areas. If you choose not to, that's fine, because there are so many things to do that are free of charge. Our Broadway stage area, okay, and our Broadway beer garden, with the exception of a very, very small cover charge to get into the beer garden, is basically free. The blues cruise bands on Friday night are free, and that's the one thing about the blues cruise is that it's fantastic. You can walk, and particularly in great weather, you can walk up and down Broadway. You can look at all these beautiful classic cars that all of these awesome collectors bring out to the show. And there are bands up and down the street, and that is absolutely free. On Saturday, there is the Broadway Farmers Market. We've mentioned that. There are pop-up bands all day on Broadway, and the Broadway stage is also free. On Sunday, there is the Blues and Bikes and Show and Shine, the pop-up bands on Broadway as well, and the Broadway stage is free. So it's just a matter, like, for your budget-conscious families, which is something that is really, you can go down there, and for the price of a slice of pizza, you can enjoy the entire day. It's fantastic.
That's amazing. Yeah, I'd love that, because anytime I've been to the Blues and Jazz Festival and I wanted to see a particular band, I would, pay the extra to go see that particular band. But there's so much to do and so much to see and so many bands to see and so many experiences to have across all 3 days.
Okay.
So I love that the festival is really catering to everyone and what they want to spend and what they don't want to spend. So that's perfect.
Absolutely. That's absolutely right, Teresa. With that said, for the record, the Orangeville Blues and Jazz Festival, comparing to other festivals that are local, we are totally a bargain. The weekend pass is your passport to all of the acts in the paid area. And again, this year our fantastic Friday headliners, Paul James, the Paul James Band. He's a huge supporter of the festival. He's been playing the festival for us for years and years and years. Miss Emily, again, it's, I think, her 3rd time back with the festival, is our headliner on Saturday night. And Juno Award-winning musician Steve Mariner is going to be playing at the festival again this year. I'm really looking forward to seeing him. He's just really something else. And again, that $40 weekend pass is is a ticket to see those acts that are worth anywhere between $1,600 a ticket anywhere else. It's fantastic.
Wow. Yeah, it really is amazing. Just and how incredible to have such great acts coming to a small town like Orangeville. You
Yeah.
know, it's such a big deal to, to even just to think about that, we even had at Revival 1863 that speakeasy. Chantal Kreviazuk came there.
Yeah.
Like, to think about all these amazing acts that really see Orangeville as a music town. That's another reason I really love Orangeville. But, the Blues and Jazz Festival is like that stamp of like approval, that we are the town to come to and have a really great time and bring your family to. When you think about the amount of people that come out to the Blues and Jazz Festival, do you have any numbers to share? Like, how many over the course of the 3 days typically come to the Blues and Jazz Festival?
Well, as the festival has grown over the years, it's been like the patron traffic has been something that we've been measuring as accurately as we possibly can. The last 5 years or so, it has been anywhere between 30 and 40,000 people over the course of the weekend. And I know it's amazing. I'm shocked every time I hear about that. Yeah.
Yeah, that's more than the amount of people that live in Orangeville. So definitely people coming out to the festival, which is amazing. Do you have any numbers around the draw and where people are coming from to? And if you don't, that's okay. But I'm wondering if you look at how many people are actually coming from outside of Orangeville.
We do. We'll do that for gathering data for, again, like our government grants application program for the provincial and federal governments. I don't have exact numbers off the top of my head, but there is a significant amount of people who are coming in from, like, particularly like Dufferin and Peel County, and people are coming up from the GTA and from Kitchener-Waterloo to partake in the festival and enjoy the weekend.
I pulled some numbers, and it's interesting. When we first started this conversation, you said you've been with the festival since 2005, like really a couple of years after it started. 2003, there were 2,000 attendees, and we're just looking at 30 to 40,000 attendees, like just over 20 years that the festival's been in existence. Based on your experience, having been there from almost the very beginning and seeing these numbers grow, what do you think is the biggest contributor? What's the reason for this growth?
I think it's two things. One, the drive and the passion of the people who have been putting this festival together over the 22 years that we've been doing it. And second, again, I can't stress this enough, community support. The people are coming out to volunteer for the festival. We're getting support from the Orangeville Town Council, the BIA, businesses. I really think the energy of all of that support from the festival board of directors and the town and the community itself is just bringing it all together into something that people honestly really look forward to every year. Like, a lot of people now they're coming up to me and they're telling me, it's like the festival's always the first weekend in June. The festival, they're literally changing travel plans so that they can come to the festival. And it's like, and it really is something that we all, I think it's become that we all as a town look forward to every year. It's become one of Orangeville's signatures, and it really is. It's an exciting thing.
Yeah, it brings the community together. Like, it's one of those, Blues and Jazz, we'll be there, and just to see what the vendors are like, the music is like, it's a trip for the family, trip for couples. Like, it's a great destination, and it's a kickoff to the summer too.
Yeah.
It's like perfectly placed kickoff to the summer. What does the festival give Orangeville beyond the music? I
think a sense of pride. Pride in our community, pride in our town, pride in our festival. I really believe that it's just, I'm very, very proud, and I'm very, very gratified. And and thankful that I've had the opportunity over the years to be a volunteer and a coordinator for the festival. It's one of the most satisfying and rewarding things I've ever done with my life. And I'm hoping that this festival continues on and on and on, and that I can be a part of it for years and years to come.
I love it. I did a little homework, as I mentioned earlier, and the festival's mission talks about accessibility, education, volunteer recognition, support for artists, and economic benefits. How do these goals show up in real life, like over one weekend?
Well, okay, so specifically, we have our own accessibility policy, which is very, very important. Our volunteers are we're trained and briefed on it, and the team leaders are very, 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 very connected and aware of accessibility. The one big mission of the festival is that the festival should be available to be enjoyed by anybody, regardless of anything. And our job is to understand, and if there are any barriers that hinder accessibility of any festival patron, that is removed, identified, and corrected. We have our whole basis of the festival and how we go about our business is community based. I run into people who I haven't seen since high school, and
wow.
and it's like, hey, and what is it? It's hugs and kisses and handshakes, and it's just like it really is one of the great success stories of the town of Orangeville. The total sense of family and community, and music brings that all in. It's just a reason to be there.
I really love how passionate you are, Norm. You're like banging on your desk and you're like, so intense. I love it. I absolutely, it's so funny. Music for me and community for me, I see how it exudes in you, like the what you do as a volunteer. So very little. I don't know if you feel the same way, but the one thing I thought about when you were just talking and like banging on your desk was like, I don't think anyone who has a job talks like that about what they're doing. But the volunteers that I speak to, the community leaders that I connect with on this podcast, I'm speaking to a number of women right now. We're going to have like a real kind of a small town series conversation. The passion that exudes by bringing this excitement and this festival to people is blowing my mind.
Mm-hmm.
And it's exciting because when people have a passion for something, whether it's music, whether it's organizing, whether it's event planning, whether it's being a roadie for a band that you just want to, be around that energy, it's like second to none. Like being able to feel those feelings is second to none. And I just had to call that out. That was so cool. Like how excited you were about, what it does beyond the music and how it supports people that need certain levels of support coming to the festival as well. But that's my rant for 2 minutes. The festival, as you mentioned, has been recognized among Ontario's top 100 festivals for the years. What does that feel like when your team behind the scenes hears that? What goes through everybody's mind? Do you celebrate? Do you high five each other? Because that is such an incredible feat built on the legs of volunteers.
I think it's a motivation more than anything. It's like, okay, we were top 100 last year. Well, okay, what are we going to do? What are we going to do to top that? It really is a great motivator, and it's an honor. There's no question about that. But there's always at the conclusion of the festival, usually about 2 weeks after, there is a what we call our volunteer appreciation party, which is where we get a whole bunch of pizza and we go to get a venue and and we'll have a band, again, live music, and just kick back and share stories about how the festival went this year, and that's something that it also like ingrains community into what we do. I really think that it's just It really is just a great recognition, and it's really, it's a motivator to see, to tell how well we've done, and a motivator to get us to what are we going to do to top that? How are we going to get better? It
Awesome.
really is.
That's amazing. Wow. Just so inspiring to hear all the hard work that goes into the Blues and Jazz Festival. And, that's why I love doing what I'm doing with this podcast. It really gives people a backstage pass. Like, my motto is get the backstage pass on real estate, but it should really be get the backstage pass on community and real estate and just what happens in your community. So I think I might change my motto. So I have some myth busting questions for you. You have to be a hardcore blues and jazz fan to enjoy the festival.
False. Next
Tell
question.
me more about that.
I'm just kidding. No, all you need to be is a fan of music and a fan of the community. Now, being a blues fan or a jazz fan or both helps, because it is basically a blues and jazz festival, but it's not a prerequisite. No problem.
That's amazing. Second question. It's mostly for older people.
False. No.
Tell me more.
We accept people into the festival between the age of 3 days and 300 years. Oh. We have, and again, this question touches on one of the primary missions of the festival. It's family oriented. There's something for everyone. If you're a blues fan, if you're not a blues fan, if you're 92, come on out and have fun.
And I feel like you answered this one before, but let's throw it in there anyway. If you're not buying tickets to the main stage, there's nothing to do.
False. Again, absolutely. And again, we talked about that. There's like all kinds of stuff going on Broadway that is free of charge on the Friday night, Saturday night, and Sunday. For the price of a slice of pizza, you can come and enjoy anything that you want. Absolutely.
Now, enough about the Blues and Jazz Festival. I want to learn about your music love. So obviously my podcast is Rock and Realty. I want to know what people are listening to, if you play instruments, if you played in bands. I may know a few things about you, but I really want to hear about why blues and jazz? Like, do you have a musical background? The emceeing is really cool, but tell me about your music love. Like, what kind of music do you listen to?
Well, okay. I'm a big fan of a lot of different genres of music. Blues and jazz being pretty much number one, admittedly. And yeah, I've got my best friend, and our families, basically we raised our kids together through athletics, hockey and lacrosse in Orangeville all those years. Josh and I formed a duo about 20 years ago, just an acoustic duo called the Traveling Wannabes. We have been playing locally for all those years. We do all kinds of stuff, basically an acoustic, folky kind of that sort of thing. We do a lot of, we both play the guitar, we both sing, and we both have a lot of fun doing it. We've got our, it's been a bit of a flat time for us this this spring, but things are firing back up. We're going to go to a local brewery in May, and we're going to play for a few hours there. And the Orangeville Agricultural Society just asked us to come out to the Orangeville Fall Fair this year, which is kind of fun. And
That's awesome.
We did that last year. It was a lot of fun, and we do private party, but we've been doing it for so long now. It's just kind of second nature. I just like playing and singing for people, and it's just really awesome. The introduction of grandchildren. Now I've got 6 of them now. That is really got me turned on now to like Rafi, and the wheels on the bus go round and round. So we're going to learn all those songs too and start playing them for the kids. And it's just been a lot of fun. Music's always been a really big part of my life. It always has been. I just couldn't imagine life without it, to be honest.
Me too. I've been with my current rock band, which is my rock band called Lady Strange, for like 10 years. We actually have a gig tonight, funnily enough.
Nice.
But yeah. So it's like, no matter how old we get, it's ingrained in our DNA, I feel like, and it just hits different when you are on stage and you're entertaining and you're making sure everyone's having a good time. And I feel like as a volunteer coordinator, you're doing that as a musician, but also coordinating this entire incredible festival as well. As a musician, do you feel like the festival hits different for you in comparison to someone who maybe isn't a musician? Like,
I don't know. I don't think so. No, I don't.
Yeah.
And the reason why is because the festival really is truly about the music, how music brings family and community together. And I think when I see it as a musician and when somebody sees it as a non-musician or just a fan, I really think it evokes the same emotions and the same feelings. I really do. I think that it just ingrains the statement that the Orangeville Blues and Jazz Festival is literally for everybody.
yes, that's so awesome. Okay, I have to ask you, what's your favorite band all time?
Wow. That's a tough one.
Favorite band, favorite musician, favorite singer, whoever.
No, favorite.
Stranded on a desert island. Most people say food, but what band would you want to see?
Okay, so like that's the thing. I always go through, like, I always say to myself, what are my 10 desert island records? I'm a really big fan of Leonard Cohen. Again, I'm a Canadian.
Yes,
but I
of
have to
course.
say because of what they did for the country, I am a super big fan of the Tragically Hip.
Of course, yeah.
And like those guys are like Kingston, how's it going at rock and roll, and it's just, and even after Gord's passing, the legacy it lives on and on. And that's pretty much my number one.
I love it. I love that. I have so many too. I can't even decide who my favorite band is. I think growing up for me, it was Journey. I love Journey, but we do so many Canadian covers in our band. Like we go from Alana Miles to Bryan Adams to Tragically Hip. We do Three Pistols. Really, really just love singing it, love playing it. And I love experiencing music. Like I will go see other bands on our nights off, as I mentioned, just to, bathe myself in live music. I feel like it's a ritual. So I'm just so excited that you got the time to spend with me today and talk about the Blues and Jazz Festival. I learned so many new things about how long you've been with them, your musical tastes, and just the longevity of such an amazing festival. At the time of this recording, we're about 5 weeks out, so we're just getting ready for it.
Yeah.
But if you're interested in volunteering, I'll have all the information in the description. Thank you so much for spending time with me today, Norm. And I'll come and find you at the festival in a month's time.
Yeah, well, okay. Well, I know where your booth is, so I'll come and find you, Teresa. That's for sure.
We'll be there on Saturday.
Awesome. Teresa, thank you so much for having me on. It's really, really much appreciated. And on behalf of Larry and the board of directors at the festival, thank you very much for thinking of having us on this podcast and getting the word out for us.
Awesome.